2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 8.
What's up guys, my name is Cynic and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we're going to try something a little bit different, and that's going to be, we're going to try to keep the video within 5 minutes or shorter. So if you guys don't mind, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into it. Now in this video we're going to be taking a look at the epic variant of the Volk, which in this case will be the Goliath. Now the Volk actually has two different epic variants. The Corruption, which is the other one, you can only obtain through the Quartermaster. But again, we're going to be strictly talking about the Goliath. So since all the way back since Infinite Warfare was first released, the Goliath has actually been the topic of a lot of hype and a lot of curiosity, and just the main topic of so many conversations, because you're taking the Volk, which has a strong damage output and it's fully automatic AR, and you're actually reducing the fire rate to a semi-auto and giving it a huge damage buff. So a lot of people were curious on whether it feels overpowered or not, but the problem with this was the topic always pertained to strictly multiplayer. No one really ever showed or talked about how it is in zombies. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys an overall idea of how this weapon performs in zombies, whether if it's worth the 4,000 pieces salvage or not. If you guys are curious on how this weapon performs in multiplayer, I will be providing another video for that, so stay tuned. But with all that being said, let's just go ahead and take a look at the pros of this weapon. Alright, so yes guys, we're kind of working our way backwards compared to the other videos. Normally I would start off with the cons, work our way over to the pros, but in the Goliath's case we're going to be doing it the other way around, because the cons are fewer but they're more significant than the pros, at least in zombies. So with that being said, we're going to continue on to the first pro, which would be this weapon is very conservative with ammunition, kind of. Because it's a semi-automatic, obviously you have the luxury to take your shots and be more efficient with all the ammunition you shoot off. But if you guys have played with the base Volk long enough, you guys will know as you progress through rounds, even with double tap, even with pack-a-punch, this weapon just burns through ammunition. You may be killing zombies, but you'll have to buy ammo every 1 to 2 rounds. Unfortunately, that issue is still very much present with the Goliath, so just bear that in mind. The next pro would be the fire delay is not as bad as it is in multiplayer. In multiplayer, you're able to get every shut off from, I think it's between half a second to 1 second. You know, there's a little bit of fire delay, so you can't spam the trigger. In zombies, that time is cut in half. With double tap, the fire delay is pretty much non-existent. The next thing would be, it's a wall weapon, you know, kind of obvious. If you guys have seen my Kaiken video, I recommended that you guys played with that weapon as much as possible, and you would notice that the points would actually slowly rack up by, you know, and by round 30 you would have over 100,000 points. That is pretty much the same with the Volk, pretty much the same with the Goliath. The only issue would be constantly having to buy ammo, but the ammunition is relatively cheap at 750 points, so it's not too bad. You know, just kind of to be more efficient with your points, just be aware of when a clown round is coming up. The next thing would be, I kind of already touched on it, it's a point earner. You know, the more you play with it later on as rounds progress, you'll notice your points become relatively high. You know, as you see from the gameplay, it's only round 10. I already have over 7,000 points, and I can't remember if I had the map open or not. But anyways, moving on. The next thing would be, it's like a whole new gun. The reason why I crafted this was because I wanted a whole new fresh experience, and I kind of got that out of the Goliath. You know, it just feels like an entirely new weapon, and that's always refreshing when you're constantly playing the same thing over and over again. The next thing we're going to discuss is this variant's efficiency against the Brute. Unfortunately, to me at least, it seems to take the same amount of ammunition as the base Volk does. 8 to 10 shots to take the mask off, and roughly 15 to 25 shots to officially kill it. However, due to the fact that it's semi-auto and there's really no recoil, you're able to kind of be that much more accurate, make sure your shots are on point, and you know, just be that much more efficient with the ammunition again. So with this variant, in terms of killing the Brute, it's kind of hit or miss. Also worth noting guys, I strongly recommend Fusion Mag. That attachment does wonders for this variant in both multiplayer and in zombies. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the cons. It's a one-shot kill all the way up to round 8, all the way up to round 13 with double tap, which is of course not high at all. After round 13, it seems to be a 2-shot to the headshot. If you pack-a-punch this weapon, it doesn't really seem like you change it all that much. All the way up to round 38, it's still a 2-shot. So it's very disappointing to say the least, especially for a variant like this that was so overhyped and so looked forward to by so many people. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next con, and that is it still burns through ammunition. Obviously, we already kind of touched on this. It's not too different as the base Volk. I was hoping that with the Goliath being semi-auto and more powerful, it wouldn't be as much of a problem, but it's still very, very apparent. And finally, the major con out of all of them is, even with this weapon Pack-a-Punch, it isn't that much better than the base model. It still seems to do the same damage output, and that's really all the Goliath has going for it. Now, since they do the same damage output in zombies, all you're really doing is increasing your accuracy and lowering your fire rate. And really, it's down to you guys on how you want to play. Do you prefer playing zombies with a higher rate of fire, or would you guys prefer the accuracy? In which case, either way, is the Volk worth it in zombies? No. If you guys are a pure zombies player, do not craft this. It's not worth the 4,000 pieces of salvage. If you guys are curious of how this weapon operates in multiplayer, whether if it's a thumbs up or thumbs down in terms of crafting, stay tuned, as that video will be coming out very soon. But anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you guys did enjoy or found it helpful at all, as well as subscribe if you guys are new, as I will be covering all the epic variants of Infinite Warfare. Again, my name is Cynic, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.